To reach the mountaintops, to reach your goals, requires different resources, a different mindset, and different tools than you might think it actually does. Welcome to today's video. You know, years ago I wrote a book called The Climb to the Top, and it was a book about how to reach your destination in life. And when you first start out on your journey, you're staring at the bottom of the mountain. You look up at this huge thing, you're like, yo, I don't even know if I can do that. It looks too big, it looks too dangerous. I don't have the tools to get there. And along the way, you face obstacles, you face challenges that you may not know have existed. But at the time, one of the fatal mistakes that I made is when I was talking about success, I meant everything outside of yourself. So success to me at the time was making money, meeting the right people, how many things could I own, how much stuff could I buy, how fancy could my cars be. That was the definition of reaching the mountaintop. But I've learned a lot since then, over the 15 years since I first wrote that book. What I've learned is the actual challenge, the actual journey, the actual Mount Everest is the Mount Everest within. It's the things about yourself that you have to learn to overcome. Oftentimes these things are things that are hidden inside of us. It's the traumas that you're unaware of. It's the limiting beliefs that were given to you by somebody else. It's the generational struggles and challenges. That is the inner Mount Everest. It's learning to find and use your voice, set boundaries, stand up for what you believe in life, and understand that you've always been enough as you are. You are a lovable person. These are the bigger challenges. This is the true Mount Everest that you have to learn to climb. One of the most important things about your journey in life is to understand the pacing, the timing of things. In fact, there's a really good example of this, and that is ox and how they're used to create or worked throughout history. Now, one of the unique things about this is what would take place is they'd always tie an older bull, like an older ox, tied together with another younger ox. Now, why would they do this? Because the young ox would have a lot of energy, it could work hard, it could push itself, but that was also the problem, is it didn't know how to pace itself along the way. And therefore, there was a problem if you put two young oxes together. They'd actually work at such a pace that one would eventually die. They'd quite literally work themselves to death. The older bull, the older ox understood that it was a journey, that is a game of patience, that is a game of consistency, that these were the more necessary tenets to success. So when I look back now, the real Mount Everest that you have to climb is not external. It's not the peaks that you think they are. They're not outside of yourself. That's not the success that I initially wrote about. True success, the true mountaintops that you have to learn to climb are always internal. It's the things about yourself that you have to break, that you have to beat. There's always these deep inner things that we have to overcome. Typically something that was created during our childhood, maybe some impact that trauma left behind, but you have to be willing to look inside, see what it is, and work through it. Maybe you have a deep fear of being abandoned. Maybe you have a deep fear that you're not lovable, that you're not enough, that no one will ever accept who you are. Maybe you have a belief that says, I have to be perfect to be accepted. Or maybe you have to learn to use your voice, stand up for what you believe in, set your boundaries, and understand that you've always been enough and that you're worth having time and energy and somebody's attention. But these are the harder mountains to climb. These are the internal things, the internal stories and narratives that you have to, one, understand, and two, you have to learn how to break them, and three, turn them into your superpower. Because what I've found is each time you go inside, into the cave, you fight the dragon within, you'll come back with a prize, with a reward, something precious to share with the world or to share with your loved ones. And that's the mark of a champion. That's what matters most in life. That's the mountains you have to learn to overcome and climb. So the tools that you actually need are deeper, more powerful tools. They're the things like learning how to be the observer of your thoughts, learning how to direct your mind and the internal stories that you tell yourself, learning to understand that you've always been enough. You've always been lovable. You don't need to add to who you are. Learning to let go. Just let things go sometimes. Learning to understand that you don't have to be perfect. There's no such thing as perfection. In fact, you might need to subtract certain things that you've learned to believe along the way. Learning to be confident, and that confidence breeds success, and success breeds even more confidence. And most importantly, learning to love yourself. These are the true tools that you need along the way. So my friend, I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. I hope I've been an example of that old bull type of energy, teaching you how to pace yourself, how to understand what the true journey of life is, and take it from somebody who was that young bull at one point in life. And maybe I didn't have that old bull type of energy that I wish I had, and so I hope to be that for you in this moment. So what I'd like you to do now is simply in the comment section below, write the words, let's go. That's a simple commitment to yourself that you got this, that you understand the next steps, that you're locked in and you're ready to go. And of course, my friend, make sure you like the video, you share it with somebody who can benefit from it. And of course, subscribe. I want to join you on this journey. Till next time, peace.